It's a new season, and after just missing out on promotion last time out, we go again this year. A brand new formation, some new arrivals into the team. Let's get into the episode, find out who we've brought in, who's left, and see how we get on. Here we are then, guys. Welcome back to the Red Devil Revival, now for episode 22 of our Road to Glory series here with Kaiserslautern. As I've just said in the intro, it is a brand new season. Now, before we do get going, guys, if you missed the last episode, the culmination of season 2, of course, our very first one in the Bundesliga too. There'll be a link right above me for you to click on so you can go back and see quite what went on. And of course, in that final promotion battle, of course, it may well have been spoiled based on the episode title today and obviously what I've said in today's intro. But if you did miss it, use that link, go and find out quite what went on. Of course, as well, guys, before we do get going, if you do enjoy today's video here today, please do chuck a like down onto it. As I always say, every like on the video always massively does help the channel out. And of course, looking forward to seeing any more of my content. Then do make sure, guys, to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. Now then, no, we've got quite a busy episode today. We've only got the one match to run through, but we've got a brand new tactic. A lot of players have come in and a lot of players have gone out. Not quite as many as I think of what happened last season, but it's still been quite a hefty bit of business which has gone on. So, of course, brand new season. We're still in the Bundesliga 2, and I don't know if promotion's going to be the goal this year, but I want to have as good a season as last year, if not better, if we can do it. In terms of our transfers, we'll get straight into it. We'll find out exactly what has gone on. I'll run through first of all with you who has left. There's been a few sales so far, and then maybe a couple more possibly. There's still quite a long period of the transfer window left open. We're here early on in July. It's the 2022 season, which means the Qatar World Cup is taking place in this season in game. So you begin the year really, really early on, hence why we're beginning so early. And so the transfer window will still be carrying on for a month or so in the game. So it's still every business to happen both in and out for the club. In terms of who has gone, first on the list is Diagne, who went to Amiens. He went there for just over £700,000. I was really chuffed with that. He barely played last year. He didn't settle, and they came with a decent bid. I think also that could possibly rise. I'm not too sure with that fee. I can't remember. We had a couple of bids. I don't know which one ended up being the one that he left for. But Diagne has gone. Sparhich, who was our backup keeper from last year, we've got a new backup, so it made sense to sell him on. He's gone to Fortuna Düsseldorf, another side in our league. He went for £80,000. He only had 12 months left on his contract. Made sense to sell him on. We then sold Tim Reeder. He was out on loan for the entirety of last season. He then moved this year to St. Pauli, who I think are back in the second Bundesliga with us this year. We sold him for £200,000. Was really, really happy with that. And also we've loaned out a youngster, Mario Grassi. He's a regen player. He wanted to go out on loan, so he's gone to a fourth-tier German side. Musselwitz, I think. I've got no idea. I've probably completely butchered that name. But he's gone out on loan. And currently we may also be selling Kevin Kraus, one of our centre-backs as well. We'll wait and see what happens with him. In terms of the transfers, we've had quite a few players come into the squad. Some are going to be starters, some are going to be rotation players, and there's one or two youngsters as well who have come into the team. First on the list, one we already knew was going to be happening, and that is Titus Krapikas, our goalkeeper for the past 2 years, who's been on loan from Spezia. He has joined us permanently on a free transfer for at least 2 years. I think there may be an option for a third in there as well. But Krapikas comes in. He's actually considered the best goalkeeper in our league. So the fact we got him on a free, I'm absolutely over the moon about. He's such a good keeper. He was phenomenal last year and in the first year as well. He's played 68 times for us, only conceded 42 goals. Really, really competent keeper, and I really, really like him. We then signed a player. This was actually quite early on. This was around about February time. I think I actually agreed this contract. His name is Leandro Barrero. He's a Luxembourg player. He also is Portuguese, I believe, but he plays for Luxembourg, and he's coming in as our new ball-winning midfielder. He joined from Mainz on only £2,000 a week. I was really chuffed. He's also on a 2-year deal, which I was really happy with. He's not fully fit for this episode today, so we won't get to see him here. We should be able to hopefully see him next time around. But he's a really decent player. As a ball midfielder, he's really competent. He's also only 22, so he's got a bit of room to grow. And yeah, he's a very, very good player, and I think he could be a very good option for us. We then signed a new backup keeper. Of course, as I said, we sold Sparhich. We then signed Christian Fruchtel. I think I may have said that right. I've got no idea. As our new backup keeper from Bayern Munich on £2,500 a week, 3-year deal. He's only 22. He's got a bit to develop. So I think having him and Krapikas, we've got two really decent keepers, and he's happy just to be a backup. Really chuffed with that. And he's German, homegrown player. Really, really handy. So that's Fruchtel. We then signed a new backup right backs. We had Francis with us last year. He left on a free transfer. So we needed a new backup, and we brought in Evo Pinto. Any Norwich fans out there? Of course, I'm doing my Norwich Twitch stream. You'll find a link to the old Twitch save down in the pinned comment if you're interested in coming over there and dropping a follow on the channel. But Evo Pinto is a former Norwich City player. I think he was most recently at Dynamo Zagreb. He comes in on a 2-year deal, or a 3-year deal actually. I didn't realize the game for 3 years. Maybe not the best idea, but even so, he's on a relatively long-termish deal. He's 32, so he's never really he's not going to get any better. It'll just get worse. But he's only on £3,000 a week. He's happy to be a squad player, a very, very decent right back. Also can probably help tutor some of the younger players. He's got resolute personality and decent determination. So I think a decent option. He's a good player, can do a job. After Pinto, we then signed a new central midfielder. Of course, I've said about we're going to be changing up the tactic. We're looking to play a 5-3-2 or a 5-1-2-2. I'll show you it shortly. I know you'll see exactly what I mean. And Maria is a very, very decent player. He can play in lots of different positions. He was cheap. He's also a bit of a wonder kid, sort of. He has been in previous FMs. I don't know if he's quite as good this year. But he's still on paper a decent player, and we signed him for about £150,000. Really, really cheap. He's only on £1,500 a week, which is fantastic. And basically, he's going to come in, probably play the Mazzala attack role that we have in our tactic. So he's left-footed too. So really, really good option, and he's only 21, so he's going to grow. Really chuffed with that. And of course, with us having Salas as well in that midfield, having a Spanish duo could work very, very well. I'm going to ignore Michalski. That was one of my director of football made for the youth team. He's not very good. We won't actually even look at him whatsoever. I'll come to Pellegrini later. We signed Noel Lopez, comes in as a backup striker. He's only 19, a little bit of potential, and £2,000 a week. Really decent option on a free transfer. I was very pleased with that. We then signed Mark Uff. Any fans of Schalke may be aware of this guy. He's an all-right striker. He's German, he's 30, he's experienced, can play advanced forward, and he's a left footer. I felt a very good option, and you'll see shortly we are going to be playing two strikers, so I think having him come in could be a good option. He did okay for Schalke when he was there. He didn't play the last season, then he hasn't played the last two actually, but the first year he played 16 in the Bundesliga, got 4 goals. He's all right, he can do a job, and I'm hoping he can slot in at the Bundesliga 2 level and score quite a few goals. We then signed a new centre-back, Federico Ceccarini, I think is how you pronounce it. He's Italian. He comes in from Fiorentina. He's on a pretty hefty fee of £7,000 a week on a free transfer 3-year deal. But he's really, really good. We unfortunately couldn't get Benedict Gimba back on loan. They just wanted too much money. I actually tried to buy him. I had a bid accepted, but the board refused it. It was like £800,000, £900,000, and they said no, it's not financially viable, which was a bit annoying, but oh well, not in the world. Ceccarino comes in, really good player. I'm looking at getting another centre-back in as well. As I say, there's still plenty of time in the window open, so we'll hopefully sign someone else. But Federico comes in, a very decent option. Final player, we've also brought in another striker just to give us enough depth, because of course we kept Mulletieri on loan, but we didn't extend the loan for Prevoljak, our 2 strikers from last year, so we had to make sure we got enough players in. And the last one was Pietro Pellegrini, the former wonder kid from previous FMs. He's not quite as good this year, but he's still very decent for our level, and I think he could come in and do a good job. Again, much like our midfield duo who are both Spanish, it now means that we can have 2 strikers who are both Italian, could help with the links and that type of natural type of chemistry sort of stuff. I still don't know if that's really a thing in FM, but I like to think it is, at least in my head. It probably is entirely just a placebo effect, but I like to think it works. I've got no idea. We're going to be playing a deep line forward on attack, and I think Pellegrini is a very, very good option for that. So that's what he's going to be coming in and doing while on loan. I think there may also be an option to buy. My director of football sorted this, so I'm not too sure exactly the ins and outs of it, but basically paying £7,000 a week of his wages. It's not too bad, and also paying, I think, about £20,000 a month or so, £16,000 a month, something like that. But that's all the players in, all the players out. As I say, there's still plenty of time in the window. There's still could be more business to happen, possibly when we get on to the next episode. But in terms of the league, with all of those new transfers, ins and outs, in terms of a predicted finish, season preview, we finished 4th last year. The game reckons we will finish 4th once again this season. And I will be completely honest, I would actually take that. Although getting promotion would be lovely, I still don't think we're a team capable, if we were to go up, to actually stay up. So I honestly reckon if we were to finish 4th again, I'd be very happy. If we got better than that, fantastic. But I'm not expecting anything else than that. It's worth noting, I said earlier, Krapikas is rated the best keeper in the league. He's very, very good. Now, in terms of the tactic, we have one game to play today. We're playing Bochum away. So we're going to play that, and that'll be the only one for today's episode. But in terms of how we're lining up, initially last episode, we're going to play a 5-3-2 with a flat 3 in midfield. I've since changed my mind, and I found this has worked quite well during our pre-season. I've liked how it's looked. I've also been using it in some other test saves, because I'm going to be actually releasing this relatively soon for people to download and making a video on it. And it'll probably be out next week at some point. And this tactic I'm going to try and use with Kaiserslautern. I found in my other test saves it's worked really well, and I felt we'd give it a go here. We're playing 5 at the back still, but they're playing a defence midfield on ball, winning midfield on support, and then 2 central midfielders, 1 an advanced playmaker, 1 a Mazzano on attack, and then the 2 strikers. It looks very defensive, but at least when I've tested it, and during the pre-season, it did score a lot of goals. So we're going to try it. We're going to see how it works. The first time we're going to be using it, it's going to be Krapikas in net, Hubner, Ramos, and the newly signed Cecchini at the back. Then it's Butson at right back. Our youngster Montello de Oliveira is having to start as the defence midfielder. Unfortunately, Barrero is currently having a knock. He's not fit. The same with Erhardt. So we're starting the youngster. See how he gets on. De Bock, our left back, who I'm still not sure if he's going to be our starting left back, but he is currently starting today. It's then Salas and Maria in the midfield, and then Pellegrini and Oof starting up front. We do not have Militieri. He's currently injured. He would be playing as the advanced forward otherwise, but he is not fit. But that is how we're going to line up. I'm fairly confident. We've got Bochum away. I'm hopeful we can get a good result. Let's get into it and let's see how we do. So we submit our side. We've got 3 more substitutes. I'm just going to ignore that because I was playing the friendlies. Let's get into it, and hopefully we could start the season off with a win and have a good start to our year. It's worth noting that Bochum are managed by Jurgen Klinsmann. I find that quite fascinating that he is there. I'm going to say no. A lot of you will be keen to avenge what happened last time. I guess we must have lost them last year around. I love the fact that players who weren't here last year were like, yeah, I agree. We should be making all the difference today. It's like, mate, you weren't even here. Why do you care? But whatever. So Bochum are going with a normal 4-2-3-1 formation. Of course, ours is anything but normal. There is a reason for the madness in using this. I have been doing a personal save with Atalanta, like a glory hunter type save in my spare time. And in that save, I always come up against Lazio, and they play this type of style of tactic, and it was working really well. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go. Did some test saves, worked really well. Used it in here, and in the pre-season it's worked really well as well. So hopefully it can translate over and we'll actually have a good showing. And everybody will just go and absolutely screw it up and we'll lose. So who knows? There's a highlight here just over 2 minutes in, and at the moment Bochum have it. We have headed it clear. Come on, Oof now to De Bock. He's lumped it up. Come on, is Pellegrini going to get there first? Oh, the keeper, he's okay. He's actually, I thought the keeper was going to screw it up, but sadly he didn't. That's annoying. And the box been completely done there by the Bochum player. And then a really naff ball and a terrible goalkeeping. Oh, great stuff, lads. Great stuff. Lars Stindl for Bochum scores. Oh, brilliant. That is just fantastic, isn't it? Just what we want to be seeing early on in this game. I'm not seeing the goal again, please. It was terrible defending and it was terrible goalkeeping from supposedly the best goalkeeper in the league. That's always a good sign. And currently, as a result of what's happening, we dropped down into 18th place because we were one of the 8 teams playing today. Oh, wonderful stuff, FM. I love you so much. Oh, everything looks so good. And then we come back today and then it doesn't. Okay, it's been lumped up. I don't know why Krapikas is lumping it up. He's set to play it out from the back. Hang on, we have got the ball back. Moria to Pellegrini. Come on, Pietro. Come on. Puts it straight to the goalkeeper. Fantastic stuff. Oh, great. Just what we want to be seeing. Okay, corner. There, of course, Ritter is not starting. I'm going with Maria at the moment, and Salas is the one who steps up for our corners now. I don't actually know what his set piece is like. I do actually have another look actually at our set piece takers, because I think the 2 first choice ones are Ritter and then Cabaye. Cabaye, by the way, is not looking very good after the injury he picked up last season. That man's physicals are shot. They really, really are bad. So, yeah, he probably won't be starting many games with Yohan Cabaye. And I may even try to sell him. I don't know. I doubt we'll get very much money from him. Can I just say, this first half has been awful. Absolutely awful. This is not doing well wonders for my tactic. I will be honest, guys. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased. I'm also going to make a change. Who do we sub off? I'm going to take Montero off. We're going to bring on Erhardt. We'll just get him onto the pitch, see how he does in this tactic. Just not great. I will be honest. Not great at all. I wonder if we should maybe go attacking. I don't know. Oh, why is it not working? It worked so well in pre-season. I know they say pre-season doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day, but it's like, oh, it all looked so good. We won every game, I think, except one when we played Lille. And it's like, oh, lovely. That's always good, isn't it? It's always the way. The camera comes on, the players just become absolute crap, and then they just forget how their legs work, basically. Butson with a terrible clearance. Don't know what he's doing there. Like, we have play out of defence, and the players just go and absolutely poo their pants, basically, and then just screw it up. Salas, lovely ball over the top. Come on, Pietro, please. The first effort from you was terrible. Pellegrini. He's hit the post. Oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Oh, Pietro. How has that not gone in? I see Salas and Maria are both struggling physically. I'm going to sub off Maria as a result for Ritter. We'll get him onto the pitch. He can play the Mazzala attack role. Oh, for goodness sake. Well, we go attacking then. Not great stuff, I'll be honest. Okay, De Bock now, Ritter, I mean, the chances we have created have been really two decent chances. Just Pellegrini hasn't put him in the back of the net. Salas here, come on. He goes for it. That is terrible. That is awful. Okay, right. What else are we going to try? Right, I see that De Bock is both booked and not playing brilliantly, but I also wonder if I should bring on now over striker Lopez. No, I'm going to bring on Hercher for De Bock. We'll just make that change. I may even make our wing-backs be more attacking, possibly. I don't know if that's worth doing. I mean, if we lose, we lose. We are away, but it's not an ideal way to start, is it? It really is not at all. We'll stop playing out defence. We'll go more direct. I'm also going to make Salas go more attacking. Oh, lads, can we see anything at all from the players? No, we're not. Okay, great. So, I mean, the stats-wise, it was actually quite even. XG-wise was pretty much identical. It probably should have been a draw. Pellegrini just ballsed up his efforts. So, you know, great stuff. Apparently, I'm going to say I can't fault your efforts. We were away. It's one of those things. Not the best start in the world to the season. But they're still learning the tactic, I suppose. But it's just frustrating because everything looks so good. It looks so good. And you can see there as well, our 12-game unbeaten run ends today. Great stuff, lads. Great stuff. If this tactic doesn't work, I'll end up going to the flat free midfield instead. But regardless. Anyway, then we'll go to the schedule. We'll see what we're going to come back for next time around. We do have our cup game up first of all, which is going to be next match. But I'll play that off screen. We'll see what happens. I'm going to play for the entirety of August, basically. And we'll come back for the Nuremberg game at the beginning of September. That way we can go through any more transfers. And of course, if we have any, we can then go through the next episode. If we end up not having many transfers, we'll play both Nuremberg and Hanover. If there's a lot, we'll just play the Nuremberg as another transfer roundup and then another single match. But all of course be coming in next episode, guys. Overall though, guys, that just about wraps up this video here today. I'll be honest, I'm pretty confident based on the players who've come in that we can do a good job. The tactic may work, it may not. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe once we've played a few more games, it may start to bed in and they'll perform a little bit better. That first game didn't really highlight quite how well it had been working, considering how good pre-season had gone. A little bit frustrating, but not the end of the world. It's the first game. It happens, away from home especially. Hopefully we can build on it and we can go forward and actually start getting some good form together. And by the time we come back next episode, maybe we'll be floating around the top table. At the moment, we're sitting in 17th, which isn't great. But even so, not the end of the world. Hopefully, guys, you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do go and chuck a like down onto it. And of course, if you want to see any more of my content, such as my FM21 Tactics videos, or any more of the Red Devil Revival series, guys, then do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified when any of my content here on YouTube goes live. But guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.